So, if you don't know by now, my name is Lawrence. I work for Linda Weekend. I am a Jordan Romero historian, expert, big-time collector. I collect everything from films, memorabilia, like press photos, scripts, posters, everything you can possibly imagine, props, you name it, I collect. I've done this for a long time. And I'm going to do little reenactments as we go along, where I sort of do some stunts even. And I say some of the dialogue, and hopefully I can get it right. I'm terrible with dialogue, but it is Dawn of the Dead. I have seen it so many times. I should have the lines down by now. I've done so many tours here too, so I should have them down. But once in a while, I can pull it, but I do it. So, in the movie, of course, take your programs, open them up, we go across the program, top row, next row, next row, next row, next row, so on and so forth until we get to the back. Now I'm going to point out all these things and you can match them to what you see in real life. So of course, this right here is one of the most recognizable parts of the mall still from what you see in the movie. We call it, the biker entrance, or it's the loading docks and whatnot. All the bikers come down the hill over here. We'll see it better when we get to the end of the tour, but they come down over there. This is like slanted road. They come down and they drive all the motorcycles and ride them all around here. Zombies are all crowded around after. In the movie, the second set of doors that they block off with a truck would be these set of doors here. So you can see the truck back up and go against these glass doors. A lot of shots in the movie are all out in this parking lot. Out there, you see the views from up top there, zombies out here. A lot of the movie zombie shots are all out here. And we're going to come to over here, my first little bit of a reenactment. And it actually works better now because they've eliminated a lot of the drugs and bullies that was around here. Sometimes it's blocked, but you can see it real good. So, following along, you'll see on the program, there's a zombie by a wall in the second photo there. Okay? So that happens. That's right here. You can match some of the stonework and such. So, of course, that happens in the movie when the bikers come and they're shooting at the zombies, and they shoot this one, and he gets shot, and he falls back like this. Gets the ground. The stunts get better, but it happens right here, and you can match that. Stunts. I'm sorry, my people are cold, and we gotta keep moving. Well, like I said, all your movies, you see a lot of shots of zombies out in the parking lot, and at these actual glass doors. They have been refurbished over here, so that's the original glass doors, but you would see that outside, clawing to get in. You see many zombies like the one bumping his belly against the glass there in his shorts. And you can imagine the brickwork and everything behind him in the shot, following, things in the movie. They had blocked off this set of doors in the truck. And then when they come driving the car through the mall, this is the first set of doors they come to. So the car would come down the hallway, and it would come directly through here. We would park over there. Stephen and Peter would go over here and unlock off the doors. Set the alarm, which would have been situated on the wall right here. Of course, the bikers all come in through this entrance. They open up those glass doors, and they all stream into the mall through these doors. Put it along this way. I'm sure you all recognize this, right? Yeah. What model was the car? And it was a Volkswagen Scirocco. So, of course, behind me, this is where the fountain used to be. Whenever they're doing it, like coming down there, and they ride all around the fountain, and they start going into the mall.
Somebody get that kid off the escalator. Sorry, Mallrats reference.
The entire cast and crew is in black and white. They're all wearing Dawn of Dead t-shirts, okay? Where you guys are standing right here, they took that photo right here. And then if you like
Right here?
match things up, and you can match the patterns on the marble columns that are in the behind them at any distance. On both sides, you can match the patterns on the column. Yeah. And then at the bottom of that photo, you see the full photo, you got it through. You see the rounded edge of the boundary. Like right at the front and the bottom of the photo. So they would have been all stood right here. So everybody come behind me over here. You all come in behind me and I'll sit around and talk to you. The next thing in the program, there's the hero shot, black and white. Come behind me, that black and white photo of the heroes, about to go on the hunt. And they would have been stood right about where I am, okay? And the reason you can figure that out is not only because there's stores that are beside that, but if you look at the tip of Galen's rifle, I believe, you can match up the pattern on that marble column up here. I don't know if it's so visible, but yeah, right above the tip of the rifle, you can match the pattern on that column. It's right there. Yeah, move over here. There we go. Okay. The next photo in the program is constantly jumping over the balcony, off of the balcony down here. After he gets shot. I am not doing that stunt.
Do it. Do it. Do it for the ground.
Right here. You can match up that middle part and then over here. Of course, when you all the stores up there in the background, that's where it happens. So you would have done that here. And have any of you seen the documentary on Dawn of Dead called Document of Death?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. In that documentary, you see Tom performing a stunt. First time he did it, he actually, his foot went off the edge of the box, his head slammed on the ground, and he was injured for a few weeks. He had a big coaching concussion. So, of course, the shot wasn't filmed properly, so he had to do a stunt again. At least 2 more times, and then that's when you see Document of the Dead, where he successfully does the stunt jumping off the top there into the big pile of boxes. And there's a mattress on top. And you see cameraman Michael Gordon up against here, this is where the boxes were, and he's filming. And then you have the eagle eye. And I've done the matchups of a lot of shots from the movie. What you see is not that view of cameraman Michael Gordon here. The footage does not match up, so we had to do it another time because I've done the matchup and you have to take your photo right about here to get the proper angle. So Tom had to do it at least 3 times in my estimation. Also in the movie, I remember one of the bikers, he built a sledgehammer, a small sledge, played by Tassos with a practice. At one point, he takes a rope with flags and he swings off the top and he comes down under here, jumps off, lands, and fights the zombies. First time he did the stunt, he actually swung too fast and hard and he hit the ceiling under there, fell down, and of course the tank didn't work. Luckily, he was not injured, and she did the stunt again. That's what you see in the movie. On the next one, so you should see the next photo in the program in a shot of Flyboy, Stephen. Okay. Stephen would have been situated right here in this entrance of this store. So Flyboy would be right where I am, and if you look behind him in the distance, you can see patterns on those 2 columns. The Flyboy is where I'm standing, and behind him you can match the patterns on those columns. So at the time of filming, this is called cheese board, and that's where you see the scene happen here, where Stephen grabs a little loaf of bread or something, and he shows it to Peter, and then Peter grabs a big ass loaf, pardon my language, of maybe rye bread or something, and he says, "Manja!" And they start laughing. It would have been right here at the edge of the store. Interesting fact though, this very spot here would have also been where the gun store was. There was not an actual gun store in the mall at the time. But when you see the view out of the gun store, the guys it's supposedly inside the gun store, the view is outside of cheese board. And I know because the stores you can see in the background of that shot match up with the over here and they went in full model.
So this was also the gates would have been looking out of the gun store. That actual gun store was in East Liberty section of Pittsburgh. It's a suburb. That was called Firearms Unlimited. But when Tom jumped off the roof, off the balcony to this floor, it looked like he fell in some sort of pond. So it was actually a small sort of rectangular pond, and it was right behind the bench where Galen was sitting smoking a cigarette. What they did was they showed him off the second floor, and they did a little movie trickery. So Tom would have been stood on a ladder or something, and he just did a jump into that rectangular pond thing, fountain thing, right out here. So it just looked like he fell into it, but he would have just jumped on a ladder or something. Moving on over here. So, a lot of you know this very well. If you don't, this still makes sense. There is a shot during the biker in the movie where you see a hand holding a gun shooting at Peter as he runs upstairs. That actual hand is the hand of director George Romero himself. And there is a very behind the scenes photo of them filming that. You have cameraman, you have George standing there with his arm up at the gun, and the cameraman Michael Gornick beside him, and assistant camera person Tom Dubinsky. That would have taken place right here, and of course I've done the matchups to patterns on the marble columns. Over the years, I've had a lot of time here, and I actually worked here on a TV series called League around in 2021, and I spent hours and hours and hours here matching up patterns on the marble columns to shots and photos from making the movie and the movie itself. And I did exact photo recreations where I would go find the spot, match the marble patterns, and I would get the exact angle in the photo of what you see in the movie or behind the scenes. And I did so many of them, and I've studied this place for real. It's not a joke, it's not a lie. So that hand shooting at Peter would have been right here. George Romero.
Fun fact.
That biker I mentioned earlier, played by Tassos Kourakis. He's known as Sledge in the movie. As Peter's up in the ceiling, he starts firing and he shoots him in the back as in the back of course. He would have fell right about over here, and you can match that again, marble pattern of the top and this view. So the camera will be behind me, and this is where Sledge would have played, right about here. But next shot, it's super cool. Do you see the hand on the floor? Okay. Come on, you a little bit right here. I'm going to go right here. So, you stand right here and look down. I'm going to lay on the ground for you. This is the exact spot where he got torn up, and his hand is on the ground right here. So I'm going to lay down. Hey, how about not a zombie tear me apart? Somebody, anybody? Let's go over here. So, I'm Sledge. I'm getting torn apart by the zombies. Tear me apart. And everybody gets it's a feast scene. Everybody's getting torn apart. Thank you, George. And his hand is right here. So the camera would be right here where my hand is looking down. So you're in the wrong area to get that exact angle, but his hand would have been right here, and you can match the patterns on the ground. That was fun to find years ago. But I did find that spot specifically for the tour, because I knew it would blow people away. Like, I gotta find that spot. And how I did it was I knew there had to be this thicker line in the shot, like you see in the program, and also a thinner one. And I knew it would be in this general area, so I just looked around until I found it. So we're gonna move over here. You'll remember in the movie, or in the biker raid, there is the what we call the machete zombie played by Lenny Lees, okay? At one point, Tom Savini is riding on a motorcycle, and that zombie accidentally maybe just grabs him and Tom Savini falls off the motorcycle. That would have been right through here. Tom would have been machete zombie right here. Tom gets pulled off the motorcycle, and then he gets up, okay? He's going towards the zombie who's sitting on the ground. George, get down there now. So he walks up, and you see in the shot behind him, you just see a doorway. He walks up and he's like, takes his machete out of his boot and he says, "Say goodbye, creep." You grab my knee. Happens right here. Takes it out and then he runs away. Happens right here. Now we're gonna go back to his control room. Okay? It's through this very doorway. And hopefully my security has opened it to us. They should be prepared.
Oh my god.
Alright, like I said earlier, there are two or three bottleneck spots where I cycle people through, but I want you all to get a chance to see the control room and take a photo by it. So it'll take a little bit of time. But this is a great spot. Come on in, Roger. 6, 7.
Bro. Fucking insane.
This is the original Johnson Control Center control panel for the mall. Still operates and all that. Although they do have a bit of computer help with things. So, how about a little music? Might cover the noise we make. Might as well have power and everything. We might need it. This is the control room Peter and Roger go into. Roger goes into the back and he says, "Hey, keys to the kingdom." What do you know? 15 upper, 15 lower. Of course, when I come back here through all the back hallways, sometimes I feel lost. But then, I think I some sort of access or passageway over the tops of the stores. Let's follow up the map. I can get out of here. This is that very map that you see Flyboy found in the movie. So if one all come over here, then when the next group in, they take their photos, and then I come back and talk to you.
Right on. Rinse.
All right, come on in. Come on in, brother.
That's, dude, the spot.
Don't put any further than the fire extinguishers. Just now right here. Take your photos and videos now. Stand right here. Okay? Don't do anything again. You're getting ahead of the game. So, you'll remember, of course, Peter and Roger come in. They stand over here. They go to the control panel. Flyboy comes in later, comes through here. And then he gets chased by the zombie through here. And at one point, they come across from each other. That'll be here. Flyboy will be over here. Zombie will be over here. And in Flyboy's view, you would see this square structure of machinery beyond the sun. And then just so you don't have to imagine, I recreate the scene for you, and that's why I have a zombie here. So you stay here. Okay? On Flyboy. Quick! No, I'm out of bullets, you're fine, and you chase me. And I run up towards the back. Oh! Thank you, Mr. Zombie. So Flyboy comes to a stop by the machinery, right here. And he has to get some bullets in his gun, because he's out. So he gets one bullet in the gun, and then the zombie grabs him from behind over here. He spins around and falls on the ground. As the zombie's advancing towards him, he's got one in the chamber. Quick! Boom! The zombie falls on the ground. And it's always fun. I like doing this stuff. Everybody go in, get through this doorway here. Go back up the hallway. Everybody got their movement. Video, whatnot.
This is just too cool, guys. All right, so currently we're being bottlenecked through the mechanical room. We just got done doing that. I got the footage. So right now we're waiting for the next portion of them to go through the mechanical room and do the boiler room shot, and then we're going to continue with the tour. But so far, this is awesome. We're not even like put a good dent in the tour, but not even close to half done. Larry, like I said, if you see this dude, you're doing an amazing job. Like, thank you guys for doing this. This is my first official mall tour. I meant to get one last time in June. And someone came up, so I blessed another guest with a free ticket. So I'm glad they enjoyed that. And this time, I'm enjoying it. I'm a kid in a candy store. Like I've told you guys many times before, Dawn is my favorite horror movie of all time. It means the world to me. And this place right here, like now that I'm getting it in and I'm soaking it all in, it's better late than never. It's I put it off for way too long, and like now I'm trying to stuff it in as much as I can. It came in June, now I'm back again. If they got it again, I'm coming again. Like I'm gonna squeeze this for all it's worth, man. I'm taking it all in and reflecting. Oh, this has been cool so far. It's only Friday, and we still got the end of this tour, and then we got the movie screening. I've seen a couple other influencers. I haven't really linked up with a bunch of people, gotten some autographs. So I haven't gone too hard in the paint. I usually spread that out throughout because I still have some photo ops. I'm all over the place.
So, this is our moment to ask for all the sound, because this spot here is where Roger was buried. Repeater was that good? Was all. I would have no idea. Of course, going to make me a little bit of this wall had things of foliage, a couple of bridges, fountains, stairs, so there's a bit of foliage that's sort of in there, right out here.
Sing on?
In the movie again, you'll remember there is a biker with a sombrero. It was played by Tony Lula. He's an independent filmmaker at first, still is. And of course, he ends up trying to get his blood pressure taken in his blood pressure machine. Interesting fact, if you watch it really closely, that blood pressure machine is in two different spots, and 2 times it goes to. First time it goes to a little bit right here, underneath this escalator. And then behind him, you can see the glass doors that led to the ice skating. Ice skating rink over in the right over here. And then you go up,
Back there.
so you see those things in the shot. But then later on, he tries to take his blood pressure, and the leader says, "Hey man, what are you doing?" Then he comes back later. But then, if you look at the background in that shot where he takes his blood pressure and makes it apart, the background has changed, okay? And it's actually sort of side of Jason Pence. So it would have been that escalator over there when he gets torn apart. So like I said, ice skating rink. Also in this spot in the movie. Again, I know all this because I've looked at the background to study it. You remember seeing the TV in the middle of the mall? And there was that biker again, played by Slash. He starts fighting with 2 zombies, one grabs him. Female zombie guitar. She falls right beside the TV over the right hand. Again, where that blood pressure machine goes, you don't see it in the shot, it's not there. But you can match the back of it, the TV is here. So again, it's a little continuity here. It doesn't make sense to me. But a lot of people probably didn't notice. But I have.
That's pretty sick.
So let's move
I didn't
over
know
here.
that. Now I'm gonna go look for that. I did not know that.
You'll see Thomas Lee on a motorcycle riding through the mall. Okay? That very item motorcycle is inside the mall. That is here in the mall currently. It's owned by the WC. And it's in one of our short stories that we have here. And if you go to the after party tonight after the screen, you can go see it in there. It's in the room for the after party. And sometimes we have a show and he does photo ops in the sidecar, and you could be driving the motorcycle. Well, the reason I mention this motorcycle is because that happens right through here in this corridor. Thomas Lee is on the motorcycle. Beside him is the ice skating rink. You see the big glass doors. He rides on the motorcycle sidecar as a zombie standing there. He joins in the perfect spot with the zombie, and he chops the zombie's head off his head. Woo! Right through here. That's scary. Like I said, this is where the ice skating rink is. We're going to go in for a second.
Oh, rip ice rink.
This is exactly what nice meeting where he was in the movie. Go down where Steve and Fran do some target practice on mannequins here. One time I was on a tour, and Tom Savini comes walking by and he says, hey, Larry, make sure you tell him this. Me and Tasso actually shot real bullets at those dummies, the mannequins here on the ice. So when you see Fran and Steve in their target practice, they weren't really shooting. But Tom Savini and Tasso drugs actually used real guns in here and shot those mannequins. So that's a cool story that probably not a lot of people know. At the time, this was called the Monroeville Ice Palace. It was used in another movie back in the 80s. If you remember the movie Flashdance, there's a scene where she is on the ice skating rink somewhere. That was filmed here on this ice skating rink. And they closed it in 1984, and the last song they played on the ice was What a Feeling, the theme to Flashdance, because it was filmed on the ice. And then when they created another ice skating rink somewhere else, that was the first song they made out of the ice theater. Kevin Smith's Zach and Gary also filmed in the mall. A couple scenes in the movie, if you remember that scene. We also filmed at a storefront that was supposed to be a coffee shop that was just about a mile away behind the mall. Now I think it's the Dairy Queen. So if you look at the Dairy Queen and just put it in your Google Maps nearby, that's the one that was the coffee shop in Zach and Gary by Kevin Smith.
So Flashdance, fun fact, didn't know that. I guess that means I gotta watch Flashdance when I get home. Homework.
This is where Jason Penny's was, that they used extensively.
Oh, rest in peace.
Movie theaters now in that spot. The Jason Penny store was that whole building was demolished in 2012 or 2013, and they rebuilt the whole entire building into a movie theater. Of course, that bothers me being such a big fan of it, but I was able to visit it and visit the mall a couple times before it was torn down. And I actually slid down that very escalator that you see that slide down in the movie. Roger does it. And I filmed it, and I did it about 7 times that day. The thing is that when the Jason Penny's closed, they were selling some of the fixtures, you know, like the racks and all that kind of stuff, shelves. And I went here for this sale of the fixtures, and they allowed me to do whatever I wanted. And I slid down that escalator. I wore a full SWAT outfit like the guys in Dawn of the Dead did. It's filmed, it's on my YouTube channel called WG on TV, just like Station and Dawn of the Dead. So look it up, you can see like 5 of my slides that I recorded. It was awesome. I had to do it. I had to get there for that day, otherwise I was never going to get a chance to do it. I know a lot of people have over the years done that beforehand, but I didn't have a chance. I made it up once to come here for one day for 24 hours because I had work the next day. And I did it. So that was really good. Still said that the whole Jason Penny was gone, but I did what I could. It was fun. Of course, the movie I remember in Jason Penny, Live Boy meets his demise in the elevator. So Jason Penny's here. It would have been at the far end of Jason Penny, and he would have to the elevator would have been beside one of the exit doors. That's where he died from that, and he all the time he's up to the hideout where the hero was dead. A lot of shots that take place in the center court here. After the hunt, the zombies are all stripped back from all on the ground, and the guys pick them up on cars and they cart them away and they put them in a breeze. See shots down here of something like that. You see zombies who are moving going up the escalator, and this is where I do a lot of recreations for you. Stumbles on this escalator with a bunch of other zombies and you just like it's funny sometimes when random people are around the mall and see you doing this and they're like, what the hell is this guy doing?
Mind your business. Mind your business.
You see a shot in the program of Peter by a column. You're going to see this very view right here, standing here. If you can't see, come around. I'm going to speak over here. Look at that shot of Peter. So he's got a walkie-talkie. This is the same make and model of walkie-talkie. I am a crazy collector where I collect propylites, that's what people call these. So you get the same model of something you see in a movie. You get a TV or a walkie-talkie or something and you see it going to bed. I collect these things, that's the same one. So he stands here and you can see and match the pattern on the marble column there. You see it? So he says, with those bay doors open, there's going to be 1,000 zombies in here. That'll take the heat off us. And it goes on and on, but Peter's standing right here. So I'm going to walk over here. So as I stand under the other escalator, okay, I said under this one is where the sombrero wearing biker is going to park. Blood pressure machine would have been right here. He gets his arm in, and I have to go 0 over 0, 0, 0. Now, it was all built for that joke, and it isn't taken away. It's park right here. So then, if you really look at stop the movie and look at the shots, you can match the pattern on the small ones. Again, there's so much that can be matched up by looking at the patterns on these columns. So we'll walk this way. So a lot of people wonder, okay, hey, where was that restaurant in the movie where Steve has his failed proposal, to Fran of marriage, and she declines, okay? That would have been a restaurant called the Pomodoro, and that would have been located right here in this empty storefront. So we got it right in there. We're going to close. In the movie, like I said earlier, there were a lot of bridges, and it's a goalie. And there was a bridge. There were two bridges in fact. There was one bridge with sort of black rails, sort of square railing in between them. That bridge would have been right here. It would have been situated right through here, okay? On that very bridge, there's a pond next to it. That's where the zombie falls in and starts playing with the change. Right here in the pond. Also on that very bridge is where they have the majority of the scenes with the pie fight at the end of the movie. So anytime, most of the stuff you see is bikers and zombies either on the bridge or running across the bridge. And then at one point there are a bunch of them teasing a zombie, sort of playing with him, and they steal the wallet out of his pocket. That zombie would have been right about here, and they're all circling around him and then messing with him, and they fire a gun near him. Would have been all here. All the pie fight would have been right here on that bridge. But before that, you'll also remember there's the car that's in the center of the movie. Remember, that car, okay, would have been right here. And remember I said earlier, JCPenney's would have been right there where H&M is in the movie theater. So they would have come from the doorway at JCPenney's there, run over here to the car, and the car would have been just in front of the bridge. So they would have taken the car here, drove it down the hallway, and they blocked up that first set of doors where we started. So that's the secret of events. JCPenney's, car, drive down there, pie fight here. Just beyond, or I should say in front of the bridge, there would have been a bench. It would have been right about here. It's where the woman, there's an African-American woman in the movie, and the bikers go around and surround her and steal all her pearls and jewels, and they're all ripping off her. That would have been right here on a bench. So bridge, pond, there's a bench here. And then would have been next to the pond, and it been a fully in a rock wall with water shooting down and water in it. And that's where you see Steve come around. He's running around, with the fighters. He comes around through the foliage, rock wall, pouring water right here, and he comes up to a bench and he starts firing at the blankets. He's like, we took it, it's ours. Right? That's right here. Then we're going to go to a spot right here. This is in the program. You look right here. Steve is standing there with his rifle, and you can match the pattern on the hallway. You can see that? So he's got his rifle, and he's looking down the hallway as the bikers are coming down. He said it's crazy. It's really awesome.
That is nuts.
And then there's another shot in the movie. There's a female zombie standing by Paul McConnell. She would have looked exactly where I am, and you can see her head. and the normal pattern on the shot right here. So look just beside my arm. You see that pattern on the normal box? Easy. Alright. Hey.
So that first bridge was there, and then we go to where the second bridge was. I saw way at the other end of the mall. Of course, that's what it's down. Second set of stairs would have been on this end. Right in here. So two sets of stairs on either end of the wall because there were no escalators at the ends. You go up the escalator now.
That kid is on the escalator again.
That kid where you stand like the resistance
Hey, Dave. Hey, Dave. Hey, Dave. Hey, Dave. Hey, Dave. We miss you, bud. We miss you, Dave. The massage chairs are lonely without you. This is nuts, dude.
In the movie, this is where they knock off the second set of doors. Right here. You're going to say, hey, wait a second, if you pay attention. The first set of doors was downstairs, and then the car was downstairs. How did it get up here? That's movie theory. Most people would not ever come to the Monroeville. That's funny. But they do, and you would not ever know that as much in the movie until you put things together. Fact is, it was downstairs, and they actually do drive down this small limited car. They park it right here. Peter gets out of the back hatchbacks. Peter comes out of the door. They stand here. And in the shot, you can actually the marble column here. In the shot, they're standing here. He one view of this one, he has their marble column. And he also has the marble column here with Peter. When he sees it here. So they stand here, and that's where Peter says, we'll get it all locked up. Doing all right with the dialogue tonight.
You're doing great, man.
Now we're going to go back in here.
Do it.
Wyndham was always staying the same.
Not back on the 70s.
Not 40
In this section, it would be this view right here. During the Steam Zombies and the program, unfortunately, I have to report. You'll see a shot of zombies just walking in the path right here and over in this area. The reason I mention that when we were listening is because nothing else besides what I showed you there, and the shot of zombies here, was filmed in this section until we get to the center. So we're going to keep walking until we get to the center, and nothing was filmed up here. And the reason it would probably most likely be that some stewards did not want to be featured in the movie and maybe a horror movie, and they wouldn't let their names be shown in the film. And they probably had lunch up here in this section and not film anything over here at all. So we get back to the set. So we're going to walk that way.
anymore? Is this too fun?
A lot of people watch the movie and you wonder, hey, where was that arcade where they play all the arcade games? That would have been right behind me in here. At the time or around the time of filming, it was called American Amusements. They would have played all the arcade games in here. No stone unturned. Are you super having fun?
I was about to say do it, and then I saw the raised studs.
This right here is where the
Do it.
was, it still is. But in the movie, you remember the first place they parked a truck in front of a set of doors would have been right out here. At the time, this was a sort of flat building, went straight across from end to end flat. Over the years, during renovations, they added this wall. No addition over here, and they added on the district over here, Boston Noble and Berkeley in 2003, 2004. The first set of doors for the truck park would have been right through here, and then I also have to mention a little bit about movie magic in this section. You remember, Peter is on the roof. He's playing sort of racquetball against a wall. That's on the roof, of course. First shot is him up there, hitting the ball against the wall. Then he grabs his coat and walks away. A ball rolls over the ledge. It's right there at the same spot. Then the next shot you see is at the very back, all the way in the door. You see sort of two metal hooks in view, and it goes off the roof. That's on the back. But then when the ball lands, it lands by the first truck that was parked in front of the main hall entrance. Bit of moving magic when you put it all together, all different places. Not really close, but you would never know that unless you really studied the place. I've been on the roof many times over the years, actually, so I've seen it all. Now we're gonna move this way. No!
Do it. Wow.
Somebody during this tour has already asked me, hey, where was that bank that you see in your movie? That bank would have been right here, or pure oil is now. That was the Eagle Bank. That's where they had seen anything. You never know. Money. What would have to be right in there? And of course,
Pure oils.
that's what's always coming off this place. Maybe that would have been right here. They would have come up here toward the end credit scene. This is the view you would have had. This again was where Jason Penny's was. To orient in. Right here, right here, Jason Penny's. The hallway that heroes come out of, we're going to get to in a second. That's right down there. So follow the logic, they would come through the hallway, run directly through here, past the ground derby, ground derby would be right here, and they would run through Jason Penny's. A couple years ago, for the 45th anniversary, we had photos there with Scott, Jalen, and Ken on the bench, and you can be fine when he was top because he was available and now it's passed. Fortunately, but that shot was right there with the photos. So as I just stated, their hallway is over there. They come running through the lane, come through the middle to Jason Penny's. The glass doors for Jason Penny's would have been right in here.
And you can see where the original floor ends and the new floor begins when they built the whole building over. Redid it. I don't like stepping in there. I do occasionally when you have screenings, but it's still angry. So then, of course, in the movie, the heroes have taken over the mall. After the month, they cleaned up. They come to the railing, all dressed up in their fur coats and such. That would have been right here. Jason Penny's behind them. And that's where Peter has his speech, the famous one. He says, I'm Peter, and the other heroes are lined up next to me. Facing this way, he says,
My granddad was a great Trinidad. He used to say, when there's no more room in hell, the dead won't be around. Thank you. right here at Paul's house. I have so many photos I've recreated this house in the movie and any documentary. It's crazy. But it's fun to me. A lot of people know that the steps and the big sports players and all that kind of stuff. I don't know that stuff. I know about George Romero's films and Rosa. Now we're heading over to the area that is that main hallway from the movie. This is where I do a stunt for you guys, a little recreation. Remember, Peter's up here running around, and the bikers are coming after him, okay? They're coming up to escalate. And then he comes running. I'm doing a stunt. He's there. He comes running through here, firing his rifle at the bikers as they're coming up. Boom, boom, boom. And he jumps and rolls as the bikers are coming towards him. He's on the ground right here, just firing up and shoots one of the bikers. Something like it happens. Flies up in the air and dies. Tom Savini comes running up with Marty Smith, another biker, and they stand right over by Naturalizer's shoes. Where it used to be, it's closed. That happened right here. I hope you appreciate that. I'll tell you a quick story about this. One time I was doing a tour, and I saw Tom Savini down the hallway. I had just brought the people. So he's coming up the hallway from the bathroom, and I timed perfectly. So I do that very stunt, just as he comes and stands here. And he's like, everybody just like was laughing hysterically. They loved it. And then another time, I have a great story. It's small, and it means something to me. So when it's gone, it's going to bother me. The first year we did Living That Weekend here at the mall, we had, of course, Scott Gale and Ken here. So we were lining up to do the photo ops again. Customers were doing photos. And I said to Ken, you know, I was telling them about the tours, and I sometimes do stunts. And I had thought about doing the role. I had never done it before. And I did it right in front of him. And Ken said, better you than me, in my opinion. So that was hysterical. The first time I ever did that role stunt. Right in front of him.
One more time?
No! So this is that very hero hallway. They come to the back areas of the mall. Come up through here, stand here. When the hunt is about to happen, they're all, they got ammo belts, guns and stuff, stand here and look into the ball, look at each other, and they start to go in there and blow up. Of course, earlier in the movie, when Peter and Roger go down into the mall, they come and look around the corner. Roger is right here. Peter's next to him. He says, we're back in the truck. Peter says, okay. Roger says, Peter says, again, I nailed it, I think. Everybody.
Peter did his roll. Thomas Meany's coming after him. Peter gets up, runs down the hallway, and he goes and climbs up the ladder to the ceiling, which would have been right around here. Thomas Meany comes running down. He's got his sword, he sticks in there as he goes to the grating. I see you! I'm like, So of course then, if you're following things, this is that main hallway. This right here is the doorway that leads to the back hallways that would lead to the control room and such. They had actually built a fake wall here to cover it up so fighters and looters would come and they would not, that there was doors here and have to get back there. So Blind Boy comes back, he leads the zombies with him, and he goes right at the doorway to this fake wall, and he starts to claw at it and bite at it, and they pull down the fake wall, and they all stream through the back hallway. And we're all going to go through this back hallway because I have something to explain in it. Before we go, though, one more point I wanted to make. During the filming of the movie, they had a sort of a gathering room, which was right in here. This was the community room of the mall at the time of filming. So all zombies would meet up in there with their makeups. Actors were dressed in there. Zombies were dressed in there doing takes and shots and such. And then if you see some of the footage that's out there from behind the scenes, George Romero actually had his birthday on the set, February 4th, while they were still filming. It was near the end of filming. And they had a birthday cake for him in the community room that was right there. And right here, we're all going to go through this hallway. This is the hallway that's supposed to lead to the control room and then to their hideout.
Supposed to? What do you mean, lies? Oh, this is rad. Oh, wow.
So, looking at the film, I see in the distance when Peter and Roger come out from the back control room area, you see some of those sort of telephone boxes or fuse boxes in the distance. So I want to know, where did they come out of? So look, okay, there's a doorway there, cubby hole. I look and I'm like, those things are way too far in the distance, it doesn't match. So then I look at another trip I was here, and I see, oh, look right here. You can see where there was a doorway filled in. You see it has new sheetrock, not even painted. And then to further prove the point, when you look at the movie, when Stephen comes through that very doorway, you see written on the wall, CB&B. I looked at that original directory, and there was a store that would have been right here called Bailey, Brooks, and Biddle, I believe. And that proved that it was here, where you see it was filled in. So, of course, after the hard Christian zombie attacks ran, they deposited his body out here in the hallway. And this is where it all happened, and they came through. Everybody head down outside the doorway here. Way at the end outside the door.
BB&B.
Everybody through this little section. We're going to go down to the stairway that leads to their hideout. We're going to stay here, you can stay here, and listen up.
There's a seasonal pumpkin.
I'm getting
Yeah, sandalwood.
sense of cedar,
Yeah.
but not organic.
It's kind of like a men's musk, but a seasonal.
Somebody stole one, and you can even see the hole in the wall where the fourth one was. I've never seen it turn up on eBay or anything. I don't know who has it, but somebody stole one of the pictures from this wall. I don't even know. I never saw it. And so now we're going to go through a series of hallways in this doorway, and I'm going to take you to the stairs and they're right now.
This is about to get emotional for me, dude. We're going down. I thought we were supposed to be going up. My whole life is a lie now. Damn you, movie magic. I remember this scene. This is the scene where Flyboy had to visit HR.
So I'm going to give them a talk at the top and come back down and talk to you. I mentioned earlier I have a YouTube channel called WGON TV. It's the same name of the radio station, the TV station I should say, in Dawn of the Dead. And I have a lot of George Romero related content on there, rare interviews and such, and even Q&As from different various horror conventions that I attended over the years. And on that channel, the reason I mention it is not for promotion, I have this news magazine footage on there from a local TV station filmed here during the filming of Dawn of the Dead in this very hallway. Okay? In that footage you see George Romero here giving direction to Scott Reiniger and Ken Foree. They're about to film the scenes here that lead up to their hideout, and they've got the wagon down there. And in that footage you see cameraman Michael Gornick standing right here. Beyond him, behind him, is producer Richard Rubenstein, mean mugging everybody. You know him or know about him, it makes sense, ironically, because he controls and owns Dawn of the Dead, and he's known as a not so nice guy. He's very controlling, and most of the actors and people who have worked with him do not like him. So when you see him in that footage, not even a smile on his face, and even though he's watching something that might be amazing to other people or cool, he don't give a fuck. But it makes sense because it's Richard Rubenstein. So You're gonna head up the hallway, the doorway here.
Nuts.
Okay, you guys go. All right. So you're gonna say, "Hey, Larry, we've seen the movie. Larry, what's going on here? Isn't the door supposed to be at the top of the stairs over here?" Not correct. Let me explain. Years ago, I made friends with Kevin Price and Mandy Raymond, who run the museum. And one day we decided, okay, who are the guys that take out the trash? We all grabbed trash bags. We're gonna go through all the back hallways and stairways at the back of the mall. That day we looked for 2 hours. Could not find the spot. It was tricky. Gave up. So on another trip I came back, and me and Mandy happened to go to the control room. And there's this gentleman there named Bob, who had worked here since the movie was filmed. We said to him, "Do you happen to know where that stairway is when we see in the movie?" He said, "Yeah. Want me to take you there?" We're like, "Yeah." So he takes us down that main hallway into the Army recruiting station, which is right here. Okay, and into here. And I look around and I'm like, oh yeah, I think this is it. Bright colors, width of the steps and everything. And I knew from looking at the movie, at the very bottom, the doorway has to open like this. When Flyboy comes back, the doorway opens like this. None of those other ones on the other trip had that feature. So I run down. What do you know, the doorway opens like that. So we say, well, there should have been a door here. What happened? He said at one point, well, when they filmed the movie, this led into the main mall offices. And then they moved away elsewhere in the complex. And they made this a lease space. And they wanted to fill this in and have it not go into the main part of their space. And it goes into their lobby now. And then to further prove it, you can see, if you look around the room, all the cinder block is uniform. You get here,
Those ones are.
and it's all jagged, doesn't
Quarters.
match.
Yeah, there's a quarter.
That's where they filled it in.
Huh.
So this is the spot. Remember in the movie, the guys going to the mall from their hideout. The hideout was not actually here. It was a set built at the top of an office building in downtown Pittsburgh. Like I said, this was the main mall offices. Their hideout was not here, the little apartment. So, guys are in the mall. Steven is asleep. He wakes up. He goes to chase after them. Runs down the steps. And Franny comes to the railing and says, "Steven! For God's sake, let's get up to the roof." And he looks up and says, "We can't leave those guys down there." He would have been right there. And then if you're looking on the back of the program, you will see Franny comes running down. You get through the center here. He's standing there, and he stops her. She wants to go after her man, but she knew she's probably lost him. She's about to freak out. Right here. It all happened right here. So you guys want to take some photos and whatnot? If not, you're going to exit out this doorway right here.
Currently, we're taking a break. They're doing groups in the hideout that I just filmed, taking little batches back because there's only limited space back there. Sweet. Rad.
During the bikers raiding mall, they'll point to see a biker on a motorcycle right through a glass sort of booth, a kiosk. That stuff would have been done by convenience stuff. Okay? I look at it right here. That kiosk with a sort of glass wall, put it right here, and you would drove a motorcycle this way through it. Thank you so much. Story when it comes to that. He almost could have died.
Ooh.
Here's what happened. The guys had poured this fake glass from liquid that's solidified here on the floor. And if you look over here, this floor is not level. So they made a frame and poured it on the floor. Some of it was very, very thick, some was thin. As the floor is not level. They put that up, and it could have been like driving a motorcycle into a brick wall. Some of it was so thick. Luckily, he was not hurt. He was very well packed. He did hurt one game. And then, George Carroll himself, for years, had a big chunk of this fake glass from that stunt at his office. Kept it on his desk. Anybody who comes by the office, bang this on the desk. Bang, bang. This thing would not break. It's like Tom Savini wrote this song that he could have been killed, and it's a big laughing matter, but George Romero showed people.
It's wide angle. I believe this is shooting at 11 millimeter focal length, if I'm not mistaken. So it's good wine. Very amazing job, brother. Hope you get to see this video when I get done editing it. Finally got to experience one of your legendary tours, my friend.
Everybody comes to play, hey, are there any stores still in the same place, occupying the same place as they were seen in the movie? And the answer was always, for a long time, there were only a few stores that were here at the same time. Then it dwindled down to like maybe one. And then some of them had moved, but only one store had always been in the same place since they filmed the movie here, and that was the Naturalizer Shoes, okay? As you can see, it finally closed this past last New Year.
Dang.
But it's the only store in the same exact place, same store, since they filmed the movie here. And it's gone. So now there are no stores that were in the same spot or represented in the movie, except for maybe JCPenney's, but that's even moved, like I told you. It's in a different part of the mall. In the movie, Tom Savini is, during the biker raid, being fired upon by Peter in the ceiling somewhere, okay? Tom Savini would have been on a bench right about here, fighting zombies coming towards him. He stabs one in the neck. And Peter is in the ceiling somewhere, and he shoots him. That's what Tom Savini does. He's still right here, goes over to the next floor. But where is Peter? Nothing like that matches. Again, that's movie magic. You're not necessarily going to ever come to the Monroeville Mall and realize, it's movie magic. But now you come and I've explained it. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Movie magic. As long as it makes sense on film, that's all that matters. It is pretty cool to end the tour with the mall being empty. When they filmed on it was mostly overnights. Wall would have been empty, and they would have to leave in the morning when the mall music came back on, and people would start coming in.
Wow.
So, even though we don't ever fly Moises' haircut at one point, it's still on the 530. That would have been right here at the time of filming. There was a store called Your Father's Mustache here. I didn't know that for years, and one day I was filming here the tour with Michael Bornick, Tom Savini, and Tom Kaminsky and Cosmos Marcus that's on the second site 4K set. I was a consultant on that, making sure they gave all factual information and then they're pointing out things they should talk about on that tour. And I said to Mike on that tour, I've been looking for the place where that salon was where Stephen has haircut in the movie. And he's like, I'll take you to it. And he brought me over here and he said it was Your Father's Mustache. I would have never known without Michael Bornick, the cameraman on most of George's most famous movies, including Dawn of the Dead. Right here,
We love Gornick, man.
I have the group stand here, and we do a group photo, and I post on Facebook in a couple days when I get a chance.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, and boom.
Larry, awesome job, man.
There's more.
Wait, there's more. He's like, get out, and locks us out.
So like I said earlier, we're down below. At the end of the movie, the bikers come to the mall, they come down that very road there. They all come streaming down that slanted uphill road. They come down,
That's the road
go
I drove
around,
down on.
and they ride all around down here where we start. That's the road. And you can even see those buildings are the same building in the same place.
When I was coming into the town, coming to the mall, I made sure I came in on the road.
Would have happened right after the helicopter landing pad would have been right beside this square structure of the building, right in front of it. We're on point.
Of course, Brandy is sort of up there, covering the guys as they park the trucks in front of entrances with a rifle shooting zombies. She would have walked up right in front of that square structure, the blue one, to the edge, and she would have been firing at zombies, wherever they might be, right up there. The enclosure that they go into on the roof into their hideout in the mall would have been right beside that this blue structure again, in front of it over here, right beyond that sort of turbine thing, that metal thing right there, that round thing. The enclosure would have been there, and it would not have led to anything. It was fake. It just had to match the skylight that was in the downtown Pittsburgh office building where they built the set. So it did not lead to anything. There is a hatch there that leads into the mall stairways and such, but it doesn't have any kind of enclosure like you see in the Of course, at the end, like I said, helicopter landing pad is right here. You lift off in the helicopter, they spin around, and they go out to the distance this way. That is the end of the movie, and that is the end of the tour.
Yeah! Woo! Deuces, man. Great job, Larry. That was pretty incredible.